Am I overreacting if I file for a divorce? Real talk, real faith, real relationships, because healthy love starts with the healed you. Time to take it from Tonya. Let's go. What's up? Welcome to Take It From Tonya. That's right. We are no longer tea time. I figured tea time, it sounds a little too dramified. And I ain't with the drama. I'm with healing hearts, helping people salvage their marriages and relationships, which brings us to the post we have today. So, welcome. If you're new to the channel, again, I'm Tonya, and here on Take It From Tonya, we read real relationship posts and break down the truths to help build healthy marriages and powerful healing. If you want a marriage built on love and not pain, this is the right space for you for honest encouragement and clarity. I also love for you to help as well, so be sure to comment. Thanks for stopping by the channel, by the way. Okay, so without further ado, we do have a poster who really needs our help. They want to know if are they overreacting for, or if she's overreacting for wanting a divorce. Okay, so before we get into reading the actual post, let's look at the text messages that she have here. Okay, so it starts with, your behavior has been off for a while, and I want your words to match your actions. I've always wanted that. I've always, I'm sorry, I've asked for this repeatedly. You would want the same. And this is coming from the poster, okay? So the poster is in blue, and her husband is in black. And so he says, I don't think we should have gotten married. She says, I know you think that. The way things have been, I don't disagree. You've made it perfectly clear you'll fight for yourself, you'll fight to win, but I've never seen you fight for us. That's a big deal right there. She's noticed that he'll fight to win, which is never good. Nobody wins in a relationship or a marriage situation where somebody's trying to win. Somebody got to take a loss. So that means nobody wins. But I'll get into it a little later. Let's continue. So he says, you don't disagree? Your expectations of me are too high? I told you I'm going to change and you won't give me any time. She says, 10 years? I had no idea that meant I didn't give you any time. Weird. My expectations are the bare minimum and they're too high? So you won't have a problem eating maybe once a week then, since the bare minimum is all that's needed. He says, that's ridiculous and not the same at all. Food is needed for survival. Okay. So he says, I wanted you to take care of me. I didn't know I have to take care of you. Wow. I'm trying to change that mindset. Wow. That was a lot said right there. I wanted you to take care of me. I didn't know I would have to take care of you. I'm trying to change that mindset. Wow. I'm feeling really crazy about this because what was he looking for, a mother? Or did he want a wife? I'm confused. All right, but I'm gonna keep reading. She says, not being manipulated, gaslighted, used as a maid, used as a prostitute, and HELL of a lot more are needed for the longevity of a marriage. No, you're not. You talk a good game, but behavior is the only language I'm listening to now. He says, I'm trying, and he says trying in all caps. to change, but it's not easy. I think it's weird to be married to one woman for the rest of my life. Wow, his words, they really speak volume. And when somebody tell you who they is, you gotta listen. He says, I sympathize with the gay men in straight marriages because they don't get to have everything they wanted. They want it like I don't get what I really want. The trophy wife, physically and spiritually, the validation they would get from the public, and having such a beautiful and great wife. Wow, yes, you are attractive. You're not a supermodel. It's hard to be with someone who isn't as good looking as I am. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Lord of mercy. Okay. I think about it often. This is still him talking. I think about it often. My life would be a lot easier if I was married to someone as good looking as I am. Woo! Let me sip some water. I need to take me. If you need to take a water break, a quick sip of your coffee or your tea or whatever you got. Mm. Okay. Wow. All right. All right. So I know I keep hurting you, and I'm sorry. She put the dots up here. She just got dots. He's like, I know I keep hurting you, and I'm sorry you feel hurt, but what else should I say? She says the truth. At least you finally gave me the courtesy of having your words match your actions. At least I can move on and move forward with what's true. He got move on with a question mark. Are you leaving me? With a question mark. Gone. Okay. So let's read her initial post. I have felt desire to file for a divorce for quite some time. But after finally learning how my husband really feels about me, I want to contact a divorce lawyer and file the paperwork soon. He's been abusive in multiple ways since we met. I've been going to therapy, great, and learned I have a trauma bond with this man. Okay. I want to know if this marriage can possibly be salvaged or if that's my trauma bond thinking and we just need to be done. Then there's an edit to clear up most of the common comments I see. So she says, yes, my husband is objectively attractive. He's been a model 9, 10. I don't know. I don't see I don't see him as an attractive person anymore. But it's easy to see how often women come up to him to flirt, ask for his number, etc. I don't want to post a picture of him. I think if people Google search his face, they might trace the post back to me. I'm unsure, but don't want to take that chance. She said, no, we don't have kids. I've learned I'm trauma bonded to him, and thanks to therapy, I'm breaking free of it and him. But trauma bonding is complex, and I've only recently broken free of the panic attacks that came as a result of just not sleeping in the same bed as him. This post was for some validation. I felt like I'm losing my mind for the last 3 years at least, possibly longer, as much as I can remember. And while my family knows some of the abuse, only one family member knows it's this bad and she wants him institutionalized. Whether you believe it's fake or not, so I'm guessing people saying that the post is fake in the comments, whether you think it's fake or not, reading all the comments and receiving messages that this is indeed psycho is helping me. For those who've given me these encouraging comments and messages, thank you so much. And for those who insist it's fake, okay. All right, so we got to get into the comments before we clean this thing up or before I get some advice. All right, so NOR, definitely divorce. Here, at least to me, your partner is clearly saying that he wanted a trophy wife that he doesn't have to take care of. That already shows that he doesn't see an actual partnership. Facts. He will not give you the support or affection you would be looking for. Then When you call him out on things, he gets immediately upset and disregards you. This is a man that wants his ego stroked and wants to give nothing in return. Very strange behavior. I think he married you assuming he would have to do absolutely nothing to maintain the marriage. Also, he wants validation and puts you down for not meeting his crazy standards. It sounds like he has zero confidence, and not getting what he wants is okay to throw. It's okay to throw a temper tantrum. He needs to develop more. LOL. Facts. That's exactly what I was gonna say, but we was in the beginning of the still reading the text messages. He definitely got a wounded child in there coming out to play, because that's exactly what he doing, playing. All right, so zero confidence, temper tantrums. He needs to develop more. I know it's hard, but talk to someone professional. Get a good support group or friends or people you trust and leave him. Trauma bonding is not the best bond. And if you stay, you'll repeat the cycle of feeling unloved. And then someday you might even start to believe you don't deserve more. Get the divorce and start loving on yourself right away. You got this. This is excellent advice, if I should say so myself. A divorce is definitely, and I don't, hey, I'm here to heal relationships. But I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm not going to say really a divorce, but to leave him and like get him some time to sort his stuff out. He need to grow up. He really need to grow. He need to heal. There's something going on within him. But let's finish reading these comments because I don't want to get in too much into my final thoughts and what I think about this post. All right. So the next person said, right. He says her standards are too high and then goes, you need to be a supermodel and take care of me and never want anything in return. Ha ha ha, WTF. This man is delusional. Okay, so the next commenter says, isn't the whole point of a trophy wife that you take care of her like a trophy? Next comment, not to mention, I bet he's not as good looking as he think he is. With personality like that, the looks pale instantly. I agree. By the looks of it, he's a total narcissist. Yeah. I know this word gets thrown around a lot these days, but like this is textbook example. I think she meant the. He or she meant the textbook example. All right, we'll read this one and then we'll clean this up a bit. Move on. Are you leaving me? Oh, please. OP, please leave him. He is such a loser. Oh my God. All right. All right. So, first off, let's start because there might be some people out there or somebody out there who may be going through a similar situation who just don't know what to do. It seems like the poster left. She did do the work, she got the therapy, and it seemed like she left. So let's discuss the difference between love and trauma bonding. Some people might not know what a trauma bond is and might actually be in that situation. So let's get straight to it. Love builds you, and trauma bonds, they break you. A trauma bond is not real love, it's what keep you connected to pain. It's what make you think that suffering side by side is normal. So you in this relationship and you suffering and you hurting and you not happy, but you think it's normal. And you stay not because it's healthy, but because confusion got you tangled all up in it. And you don't know which way to go. You feel like you love this person, but you feel like you want to leave this person, but something's keeping you there. If insanity, chaos, or heartbreak are mistaken for intimacy and connection, that's a sign that you are hooked to that hurt and not healing. Look at scripture 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. It says, love is patient, love is kind. If your relationship keeps you anxious, fearful, or doubt yourself, what makes you think that that's God's design for love? That's not God's design for love. God's design for love feels good. Love is all things good. That's a warning sign that you bonded to pain instead of blessed by peace. Now, at some point, attraction becomes a trap. Sometimes that very thing that keep you stuck is the way the world sees your partner. It's charming, attractive, even model material. But God's confirmation isn't found in charming words or good looks. Proverbs 31:30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. Don't let potential become your prison. Patterns matter more than promises. It's easy to remember the good days and hope that they're going to come back. But don't let memories bind you to the reality of what's really going on today. You got to step back and see what's really going on. Okay? It's also spiritual warfare behind abuse. And we got to call it out. Abuse is more than emotional, it's spiritual sabotage. So, fear, confusion, manipulation, those are tools of the enemy to keep you doubting your self worth and staying in cycles meant to destroy you. You ever heard that song from Jonathan McReynolds, Cycles? The devil will learn from your mistakes. If you haven't heard that, definitely check that out. Jonathan McReynolds, Cycles. Listen to that song. God, He's not going to assign torment as a part of your purpose. Psalms 34:18 reminds us the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. If your soul is tired, if you're breaking under the weight, trust that God sees you, He loves you, and wants restoration, not for you to keep going through hurt. Now, to heal, that's going to mean facing your reality. You can't heal if you're going to keep pretending like you ain't got problems. You just keep pretending it's just having problems. That's nothing. So either you acting like there's no problem or you making having problems just problems. Like that don't mean nothing. You romanticizing the relationship and that's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you grieving the very thing that's keeping you sick. It keeps you sick. Recognize and know that leaving ain't failure. It's choosing peace. Therapy, that's not betrayal. It's actually bravery. So shout out to you, poster, for going to seek that therapist and actually going through. Anybody else who going through therapy is brave. So don't feel like you betraying anybody when you seeking self-help. Remember, God can redeem your story, but you can't heal if you refuse to let go of what's actually hurting you. If you walk in a fire and you getting burned and you burning and you hurting, if you stay there, what's going to happen? You're just going to burn alive until you die. But if you get out that fire quick enough, you can save your life. Okay? And then, of course, you're going to have to heal. You're going to have to go through some more healing. But you're still alive to get out of that fire. And in this parable, that fire is that relationship and heal and start over again. So, some action steps for everybody who's going through some things like that is to name the pattern. If you're going through any problems, any relationship hurt, any if you're in a grandiose relationship, that's where your partner might be one up, like this situation, and you one down, loving from the bottom, then take these action steps. Name that pattern, like what's going on. Stop sugarcoating that abuse or calling it just fights. Oh, we just having little fights, little arguments. Be sure to talk to somebody you trust. Tell your mama, tell your sister, seek that therapist, seek a coach. Like myself and my husband, seek out a coach. Isolation makes confusion and fear grow. So when you don't talk about it, when you just leave it alone, when you isolate it, it's growing. Don't decide alone because you're not competent enough to decide whether or not you should leave this relationship. You definitely got to tell somebody, talk to somebody else. Don't go it alone. The enemy will use secrecy to keep you second guessing all the time. So you can get support again. You can get support from a pastor, a therapist, a relationship coach, a relational coach. You need both that spiritual, the practical tools to gain real, true healing because that's what's needed. You need to heal. And last but not least, listeners, pray for courage, not just a word to stay. Sometimes God's answer is the strength to walk away and live free. So if you're still in that relationship and you're like, oh, God ain't answering me, you might just be blocking that answer. You might be blocking the not answering the call. God's telling you to just walk away and live free. All right. So if this post sounds like your story or a story close to you, know that you are not losing your mind. You waking up. You deserve love that lifts, not a bond that breaks. And this is Take It From Tonya. Let today be your turning point. Be sure to share this, subscribe, and send your questions for next week. Also, be sure to comment if you've ever been through this situation and you got some advice for the posters or anybody out there who might be going through something of this nature or anything. Comment. Comments are welcome here. One thing that we do understand is everybody has an opinion and everybody go through. So, share your testimony. All right. So again, share this, subscribe, send in your questions, and remember, God loves you, and healing is possible, and peace is your birthright. See you on the next one. Until then, I normally say I'm going to just sip my little tea. But I'm going to say until then, remember, healing begins with you. Good night, y'all. See you next week. Same time, same place.